Welcome to English literature class, my dear students of class 9th. Live class was taken today of the chapter Hearts and Hands, chapter number 4 by O. Henry. Now I am going to make a video for the same. You please open page number 69. Hearts and Hands by O. Henry, chapter number 4. At Denver, there was an influx of passengers into the coaches on the eastbound B&M Express. At Denver is a station. At Denver, there was an influx, arrival of many people, arrival of many passengers into the coaches on the eastbound B&M Express. The name of the train was B&M Express. In one coach there sat a very pretty young woman dressed in elegant taste and surrounded by all the luxurious comforts of an experienced traveler. In one coach in B&M Express, in one coach there sat a very pretty young woman, very beautiful woman dressed in stylish taste, stylish taste, and she was surrounded by all the luxurious comforts of an experienced traveler. It seems that she is from well-to-do family, and she was surrounded by all the luxurious comforts. All the items, all the luggage that she had carried were very costly, very expensive. It seemed that she was an experienced traveler. Among the newcomers were two young men. Suddenly, two newcomers came there, two young men, one of handsome presence. This is the appearance of the two newcomers. Appearance. You see here, one of handsome presence with a bold, frank countenance and manner. One of them was very handsome. He was bold and frank countenance. Frankness was showing from his face and manner. And the other man who was with him was a ruffled, wrinkled, glum-faced person, gloomy person, serious person, heavily built and roughly dressed. He was very stout, he was very strong and roughly dressed. Rough and tough man he was. The two were handcuffed together. As they passed down the aisle of the coach, aisle, S is silent here, aisle means passage of the coach, the only vacant seat offered was a reversed one facing the attractive young woman. They entered the coach and sat face to face of the lady. Here, the linked couple seated themselves in front of her, linked, handcuffed. The young woman's glance fell upon them with a distant, swift disinterest. Then, with a lovely smile brightening her countenance and a tender pink tinging her rounded cheeks, she held out a little grey gloved hand. Here, the young woman glance fell upon them. She saw them with a distant and swift disinterest. She had no interest in them. Then, with a lovely smile, suddenly she smiled which brightening her face, and tender pink tinging, slightly colored pink color came around her cheeks. She held out a little grey gloved hand. She held out a little grey gloved hand. When she spoke, her voice full, sweet, and deliberate. When she spoke, her voice was full of sweetness and deliberate program that cautious, she was very cautious when she announced that its owner was accustomed to speak to be heard. She was very polite. She was very she was the owner of speaking politely. She was very polite. Well, Mr. Easton, if you will make me speak first, I suppose I must. The woman said to Mr. Easton. Two persons came in the coach. One of the name was Mr. Easton. She asked Mr. Easton, if you will make me speak first, I suppose I must. Don't you ever recognize old friends when you meet them in the West? Do you forget? Do you not recognize old friends when you are in the West? The younger man roused himself sharply at the sound of her voice. The younger man. One of them was older than the younger. The younger man roused himself, awakened himself sharply. The sound of her voice seemed to struggle with a slight embarrassment, which he threw off instantly. Embarrassment came. He embarrassed slightly. He slightly embarrassed, which he threw off instantly, immediately, and then clasped her fingers with his left hand. Then he, means Mr. Easton, clasped her fingers with his left hand, not with the right hand. Mr. Easton greeted the woman with his left hand, not with his right hand. Generally, we greet anybody with our right hand. But what happens here, you see? It's Miss Fairchild, he said with a smile. Oh, you are Miss Fairchild. I will ask you to excuse the other hand. I will ask you that I have not used my other hand. It is otherwise engaged just at present, as it is engaged. That's why I could not greet you with my right hand. He slightly raised his right hand. He, means Mr. Easton, slightly raised his right hand, bound at the wrist by the shining bracelet. Bracelet means here handcuff to the left one of his companion. Dear student, you must pay attention here. His slightly raised right hand. He slightly, not fully, slightly raised his right hand, bounded at the wrist by the shining bracelet to the left one of his companion. The other person who was sitting over there, the bracelet was bound with the left hand of the other person, other companion. The glad look in the girl's eyes slowly changed to a bewildered horror. The glad look. as after meeting Mr. Easton, the girl was very glad, but girl's eyes slowly changed to a confused horror. She was horrified. The glow faded from her cheeks. The glow, the shining face, faded now. The glow faded from her cheeks. Her lips parted in a vague, not clearly expressed, relaxing distress, pain. Easton, with a little laugh, as if amused, was about to speak again. He wanted to speak what had happened with him, but when the other forestalled, anticipated beforehand, the other companion understood what is going on in her mind. He said, the glum-faced man had been watching the girl's countenance. The serious-faced man had been watching the girl's face with veiled glances, with concealed glances from his sharp, shrewd eyes, his practical eyes. You will excuse me for speaking, miss, but I see you are acquainted with the marshal here. You will excuse me, the companion of Mr. Easton spoke. You will excuse me for speaking, miss, but I see you are acquainted with the marshal here. Acquainted means known. You are known to you are known to the marshal here. He is marshal. Mr. Easton is marshal. He told a lie here. He himself was the marshal. If you will ask him to speak a word for me when we get to the pen, he will do it, and it will make things easier for me there. He is taking me to the Leavenworth prison. Mr. Easton is a marshal. He is taking me to the Leavenworth prison. It is 7 years for counterfeiting. I am going to Leavenworth prison for counterfeiting. I am counterfeiter. Counterfeiter means a kind of fraud. It is 7 years for counterfeiting. I am going to Leavenworth prison for 7 years for I have committed a fraud. And what had happened after that you will see in my other video. Thank you so much, students.